Sean, day two of TOC Africa, coming towards the end. How do you feel the event has gone?
TOC Africa has gone very well, actually. It's exceeded all our expectations over 2 days.
And what sort of audience have you had visiting?
We've had a very interesting audience, actually. We've had delegates and speakers from all over the continent of Africa and internationally made the journey here. It's really good to see the sort of diverse nature of the job titles of people that have attended, from ports and logistics, but also from banking and infrastructure as well.
And you've been talking to the exhibitors over the course of the event. What's the mood in the exhibition hall?
The mood in the exhibition hall is actually upbeat. People were really pleased to see the audience that's come. We've had a very high level of the terminal operator sector here. And I think, there may have been some expectations of this being a smaller, newer launch event, but it's gone really well, and I think the exhibitors are very happy with it.
And how have things been inside the conference theatre today?
The conference theatre has been great. I've learnt a lot myself. This is a really new, dynamic region. There's a lot of scope here. In fact, for me personally, I've learnt a lot, and it's making more questions and answers. There's a lot of stuff to be discussed around the TOC, the logistics, the integration between all African nations, as well as Africa's role in the global logistics. So it's gone really well. Really interesting conversations.
And what would you say to anybody still trying to make their mind up about attending an event, a TOC event in Africa?
I would say come along and try it. It's actually the only way you're ever going to really understand what goes on in a region like this is to come and meet the people, and the fact that they come here. TOC's always provided that forum. We want to be the platform for people to discuss, learn, connect with each other, and I think if you come to TOC, you're going to see the right people you can meet. I think it's a perfect opportunity to anyone.
Sean, can you tell us a bit more about the other TOC events?
Yeah, as you know, we're actually part of TOC Worldwide is our umbrella brand. And our main global event is held in Europe every year in Rotterdam, but we're also holding events Panama and Singapore, and the new one for this year has been TOC Africa.
And what would you say to encourage delegates to visit these events?
Basically TOC is a global brand. What you're going to understand, this is the event for people who move and handle containerised cargo. But what we have is a main event in Europe which looks at the global overview of where this industry is. But we take it to the regions, and you get the nuances for the regions and the more specific problems from each of the regions we attend.
TOC as a brand, TOC stands for Terminal Operators Conference. But it is more than just a conference.
Yeah, definitely more than a conference. So TOC Terminal Operators Conference has got a long history. TOC, it's been around for more than 40, 50 years. And it did start as a very technical event, discussing the operations around a container terminal. However, as the industry has grown, as we've grown, we've seen the interconnectivity between the players in the supply chain. So that the terminal at the centre of a supply chain is such an important node, but it has to look outwards. You can't develop how that terminal is going to operate and influence the supply chain without knowing where cargo is coming from, where cargo flows are, how it's being transported. And so we're looking at interoperability, interconnectivity along the main players of the value chain. And nowadays as well, it's moved forward, but there's a lot of discussion on digitalisation, not just automation on terminals, but digitalisation of the supply chain. So we bring the players together to actually discuss that and look at the technologies that is actually driving that digitalisation process.
Well, thank you very much, Sean. It's been great talking with you.
Thanks, Peter. It's always been a pleasure to appear on your show.